Wanted to just get an idea. We talked a little bit about it already on your your meeting system, not for new clients calling in, but for your current clients. Do you, a lot of people have been asking me about, I forget what it's called, but it's like chunking all your meetings within two
Yes.
weeks of the year or things like
Yeah.
that. How do you do it? Do you have different styles of meeting, a tax planning meeting in the summer, an investment meeting in the, how does that all work?
Yep. So depending who you listen to, the term people often use is surge. I say cluster. You say clump. It's all the same stuff. And I thought about doing that prior to even launching my business. So let me step back a little bit. So I started this business, again, not to sound cheesy and altruistic, but largely as a consumer, because I worked in financial services for 19 years prior to doing this, in institutional investments in banking and capital markets and risk management. So very familiar with the tools and products and processes and stuff. And I just, as a potential consumer, as a potential user of advisory services, I saw things I didn't like, how much it was sales focused, depending, what channel of advisor you're talking to, insurance or securities or investments. I was fundamentally opposed to percent of AUM. My mom had an advisor, typical percent of AUM person, focused mainly on investments. Has her in 2 dozen, or did had her in 2 dozen different mutual funds. They weren't bad, but they're more expensive than they need to be. Complicated the investment process more than it needed to be, and she would meet once a quarter. They'd go through flip books and charts, and here's the investments performance, and they'd use the pre-canned economic data and report from the mothership, and they talk about that. My mom didn't care. She just wanted to know, like, when should I take Social Security? Do I have enough? And that was it. And they were just investments. So the quarterly meeting cadence was way overkill. So I figured quarterly is too much. Just as a consumer, quarterly unnecessary. Once a year probably not enough. So twice a year feels right. So I already had that in my mind when I was planning out this business. Furthermore, I figured let me cluster it together. Logically, it seems like after tax return time is smart because I knew tax planning would be a big part of what I do. So let's wait till people's tax returns are done. Therefore, let's meet in May or June. And then obviously you have to meet again before the end of the year because if you're going to be doing like year-end tax planning, Roth conversions, distributions, capital tax loss harvesting, whatever, you need a meeting then. So the second meeting is going to be November, December. So I had already kind of formulated that seems what makes sense. And coincidentally, as I was listening to other advisor podcasts and stuff, that started to become more of a trend in the advisory community, whereas most people were quarterly. People now are starting to trend towards twice a year. So that's my meeting cadence with clients is May or June, and then November, December. Those are formal meetings, but they're free to reach out whenever. I'm super flexible, super responsive. As things happen in life and there's financial implications involved, reach out. Do not wait until our semi-annual meetings unless you think it's something that can wait. So I am working kind of throughout the year in dribs and drabs, but it's really clustered together in May and June and then November, December.